On Newcastle then and the team they might play on Monday, I mean, the walking wounded, it was clear for everyone to see as players left the pitch against Brighton, as players left the stadium afterwards. And then we've had Eddie Howe's press conference on Friday morning. Looks like Willock's season's over. He left the stadium on crutches. Sean Longstaff will be assessed. Joe Linton took a knock. It's actually ironic, John, that we were all concerned about Bruno's ankle, and he's the one that Howe hasn't mentioned in the long list of doubts. Again, it's showing the lack of options in midfield. I mean, there's a strong possibility that the likes of, I mean, Elliot Anderson obviously got quite a bit of time against Brighton, but Lewis Miley, the young lad, could get a look in as well, because right now they are down to the bare bones. But yeah, the walk. I mean, the win over Brighton, it seems to have cost a few of them players maybe the rest of the season. But I suppose when you look at it, all worth it.
Yeah, and we say the rest of the season, which sounds terribly dramatic. It's 2 games, isn't it?
Yes.
And it's 1 week or something in 2 games is the rest of the season. So it's not as dramatic as it sounds. But yes, it's difficult. I mean, if we can put sticking plaster, I think they'll all look like the Invisible Man on Monday night because they'll just have bandages all over the shop. If we can put a sticking plaster on a few players like Joe Linton, like Bruno, like Trippier, just to get them out there for one more game. It's at home, it's in front of the 50,000, it's for the Champions League. You get through that match, we are in the Champions League because we've won. You go to Chelsea, you can rest all these boys. They needn't go yet one more. And I tell you what, if you're a little bit under the cosh with a bit of an injury, unless it's a hamstring, you can't walk with a hamstring, never mind run. But if it's nothing like that, if it's knocks and bruises and bumps and things like that, you play for an hour and a half at home with the way that crowd is, you could walk through Hadrian's Wall with a crowd like that, giving you the adrenaline they'll give you for an hour and a half, and with the opposition you're going to face, because with utmost respect, Leicester on Brighton and on Spurs, who got done 4-6 up here. Never mind on Manchester United, who were beat up here, etc., etc., etc. So we just need one more collective, huge effort from the players at home, because it's at home. Let's get Champions League, and then the team will send down to Chelsea. If it's got to have a few out, it's got to have a few out. It doesn't matter. The difficulty is midfield because all the injuries are coming. I mean, there's not a midfield. The starting senior midfielder that hasn't got a knock. If you look at Longstaff, Joe Linton, Bruno, and Willock, there's not a midfield player that is either out or a doubt for Monday. So we'll talk about Elliot Anderson playing, starting, which would be a rare start. You're going beyond that. Perhaps, I think perhaps Joe Linton and Bruno will be patched up and go with Elliot. That would be the hope because we don't want any more out. I mean, Miley can come on at some stage, etc., etc. Anderson, who I've said I'm a great supporter of, and I believe is going to be an outstanding player and is going to be a centre midfield player. But life's easier when you play wide left, because there's more grass around you to play in. Play centre midfield, it's congested. You've got to do it quick. You've got to have quick feet. That will develop. But if you're going to help him to get to that stage, wide left, which is what Eddie wants to do with him, gives him more opportunity to build up confidence, etc. But I think he's going to have to play and start in midfield. But I haven't got too much worry about him because, especially against Leicester, who aren't the best, if you're playing Liverpool or Arsenal or Man City, if you're playing Man City, you think young lad can be a step too far. But I don't think Leicester will be. So come on, Elliot Anderson, do your granddad proud, do Jeff Allen proud, who's already bursting out of his britches with pride anyway.
I thought he did quite well actually when he came on
You
for Joe
did.
Willock. I tell you what, though, there was a moment he chased back and he won the ball and he rolled his ankle and you could see he was in a lot of pain. I just thought, oh no, he's been given this opportunity. It's coming away. No one would have wanted because it's mean Willock's injured. But then he goes over and I think, oh, he's not going to have to be subbed, is he? After 4
Well,
minutes, 5 minutes.
we went down like 9 pins, weren't we? I mean, in the end, The worry was about how many players are going to be standing up, not what the score is, because the score got to 4-1, and that was that. But it's how
Yeah.
many players were left.
But I was impressed with him, and I think he will start. Like you say, there's not many options. I think he will start if he
He'll
has
have to
to.
stop.
No
He'll have
one's
to.
going to be worried about it. There was a moment against Brighton, and it was Trippier, and he played the ball through. It was a wonderful run by Anderson, and he just missed the touch. It was ever so close, but had he controlled it, he would have been in. And you watch him, and there's clear talent there. He's going to be a big star, I think. And the more he starts, the more minutes under the belt, that can only help him and develop him. I think he will start against Leicester. And I think, do you know what, John? We're feeling good. We're in positive spirits. He's going to get a goal. First goal.
He deserves to get his first goal because he's already had one, and it was taken off him. Remember, he had that terrific header where he
Yeah,
got
against
above the
Forest.
guy. What a disgrace that was. He'd already got his goal. And yes, I mean, the experience we want people like Elliot Anderson to get, he'll get over the next two games because I think he will start against Leicester and he'll start against Chelsea. And that'll be a nice end to the season for him. And in his eyes, will justify him staying at Newcastle this season rather than going out on loan. And I think that was a right decision for him and a right decision for Newcastle United. Can you imagine if he was out on loan and you technically couldn't bring him back from where he was or whatever, and we hadn't him now? It would be dreadful.